GaiseBaba is not born again.
This is PopDisciple with Xammy Black.
PopDisciple with Xammy Black. If you do not know what PopDisciple is, let me explain it to you. PopDisciple is a faith-based podcast that centers on culture, faith, and the feed. When I mean the feed, I mean we'll talk about trending topics in the body of Christ or just like that. Now, diving into today's topic will be talking about cross-culture and control culture. Now, let me talk about the opening hook when I said GaiseBaba. If you do not know the backstory, if you do not know what happened, let me gist you first. Relax, chill, let me gist you. So, Nigerian gospel artist GaiseBaba is an Afro gospel artist known for blending Afrobeat, hip hop, and worship together. GaiseBaba got called out by a pastor for being too worldly. The pastor said his sound, his style, even his stage presence actually crossed a line. That's what the pastor said. Now, let's be real here. This debate is not something that is new. It's an old debate from Craig Franklin getting criticized for using R&B beats. The church has always wrestled with how to engage with culture. But here's the real issue here. Was the pastor right to condemn? Or was he missing the bigger picture? Yeah? Let's be honest. Condemnation shuts down dialogue. Jesus never started with condemnation. It started with conversation. The woman at the well, he asked questions. The Pharisees, he challenged their hearts, not just their habits. Was that pastor's concern valid? Yes, maybe. But how we address cultural shifts matters a lot, Instead of saying this is demonic, what if we asked that does this reflect Christ or just copy the world? Is this redeeming culture or just repeating it? Because here's the truth here. Not all cultural crossover is bad, but not all of it is wise either. You feel me? Not all cultural crossover is bad, but not all of it is wise either. Like, we're not supposed to accept. It's not everything that we accept. It's not everything that we see that we accept. So, this is where it gets deep here. Are we thoughtfully engaging culture or just mindlessly copying the West? Let's think about it. Music. Why do all gospel artists now sound like Travis Scott or Burna Boy? The preaching. Why do some pastors sound like they are doing a TED talk instead of delivering the word? Now, fashion. Are we dressing for Jesus or following Instagram trends? Apostle Paul in the Bible used Greek philosophy, to preach Christ. If you check Acts chapter 17. But today, are we adopting or just absorbing? This is where it gets deep here. Are we thoughtfully engaging culture or just mindlessly copying the West? I was talking to somebody, I think yesterday. I was talking to my mentor yesterday, and I told him about the whole GaiseBaba issue, and I told him that all this wala basically is culture. Had it been the pastor that dragged GaiseBaba was from the US, there is a high tendency that he will not die easier, but have locks or braids. So how should we engage basically in culture? Here's the biblical model. Redeem, not replicate. Paul quoted secular poets. That one we saw it clear, especially in Acts 17 verse 28, but redirected it to Christ. Also, context matters a lot. Jewish believers kept their customs. Gentiles didn't have to. That's, if you can check Act 15, it is there. Fruit over form. Does it bear godly fruit or just look cool? Just looks cool. This is what everybody is doing. I think we should just try it. I don't know if you understand. Well, GaiseBaba's music might not be your style, but if it's reaching people the church isn't, is that wrong or is it wisdom? Context matters also. The context of what we are actually doing. The context. I was speaking with a friend from ABJ, is a Abuja. He was a Afro gospel artist, and No, we were bringing him for a concert in Ilorin last year. Then we asked him for pictures. Then he had to take off his dread. Then we were asking him, why did you take off your dread? And it was like, in context of what he's pushing after, the dread does not fit into the context of what he's pushing after. He's about to release a track, and in that track that he's about to release, he's about to portray himself as somebody that has no dreads and just a Jesus boy. Now, some believers control culture so tightly, they choke life out of it. No drums, no dreadlocks, no creativity, but culture isn't a museum, it's a mission field. The Pharisees controlled culture, Jesus transformed it. Jesus didn't avoid sinners. In fact, he ate with them. He fellowshipped with them. He didn't boycott Roman roads. He used them to spread the gospel. So are today's culture controllers protecting holiness or just personal preference? Maybe we risk syncretism, that is mixing truth with trend. Maybe we risk irrelevance, that's preaching to an echo chamber. Maybe the answer isn't how much culture is too much, but how is this advancing the kingdom? Because I basically feel like at the end of the day, culture isn't the enemy. Compromises. Now, I want to hear from you. Was the pastor right about GaiseBaba? I also want to hear from you. Are we copying the West too much? Or where is the line between engaging culture and losing ourselves in it? I'd like you to drop your thoughts in the comment sections below. Let's keep this convo going. And remember, be salt, be light, and don't lose your favor. I'd like you to send in your questions, and I would like you to tag me in some videos you would love me to dissect, and we check the anatomy of the video together. Catch you next time on PopDisciple with Xammy Black MCFR, where faith meets the feed.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of PopDisciple with Xammy Black. Make sure you're subscribed to be notified when new episodes drop. This podcast is powered by Imagine Studios 116.